This is Harry Murray at Murray's Flash Up in Edinburgh, Virginia. Today we're going to talk about our hardhead bugs. Many years ago, I developed what we now call the Shenandoah Series. We've come to realize that in many different situations, the bass will take a bug depending on the action we impart to it. And we've come up with three different shapes and faces, you might say, on the bug. The one you see there is the Shenandoah slider. Then we're going to talk about the Chugger, which has a cup face, and then we're going to talk about the Popper, which has an upsloping face. And I'm going to show you the places we use those three actions because that action that I'm talking about is based on that bug itself. Now, this one that we're looking at right here is one that I have excellent success with in fishing it with a sort of teasing action. This student caught a lot of nice smallmouth back in there on that Shenandoah slider with its pointed nose and relatively slim body because he was able to produce sort of a teasing action back in there. This is one place I have great success in my schools when I've got a cobblestone bottom, water, 1 to 2 feet deep, back in under the shade as you're seeing there. And by fishing this back in the shade close to the bank with a very gentle teasing action, we have great success with these. Now the next one we're going to take a look at is the Chugger. Now this is going to produce an entirely different action than the slider you just saw. It has a deeply cut face, it's got a fatter body, and we can make a tremendous racket with that thing. Often, say down on the James, up around the upper part of Balcony Falls where there's some water that's even 5 feet deep or so, by imparting a strong line hand stripping action, I can create a terrific racket with that thing and catch fish out of places that I might not be able to catch with a more conventional type popper. The other place I use this Chugger type thing is where I'm fishing water that's relatively fast. I want them to know it's up on top, so I use my line hand to strip that thing. Maybe I might do 2 or 3 consecutive strips, and each time I'll move it maybe 2 or 3 feet. So basically, I'm just saying, come up here and take this bug. But it really does take fish in places that my other bugs just don't take them. This boy came to visit me from Ohio, and I put him in with that same Chugger you just saw. The water back along those grass beds and those bars, it's probably 4 feet deep, but it's clipping along at a pretty good pace. I lined him up on that. He put that Chugger back in there, caught a tremendous number of nice sized bass along those grass beds where the water was real deep. So that is the second one. The pointed nose is a slider. This one is a Chugger. Now, to kind of compromise the action, we've included in the Shenandoah series this blue popper. Now the popper has a longer body, gentle upsloping face, and it won't be as sneaky as a slider, nor will it be as loud as a Chugger. But it is very, very versatile. I have a tremendous amount of success with this. Late in the evening, fishing water that's, say, 1 foot to 2 feet deep in the tail of the pool, I go in at the riffle, turn and go and fish upstream, just retrieving that in that shallow water just a wee bit faster than I would normally retrieve it, and that moves it through there in a very lively action. And that is just outstanding. It mimics a lot of the bugs that are found in that water. Now, Jeff was fishing over here in this water, which was, oh, that water's, you can't wade through it. That water's probably 4 feet deep back there. Jeff is using the Shenandoah Blue Popper. Back in there, he caught a lot of nice bass that evening. We saw some bass over here chasing minnows right where you see him fighting that fish. These bass were chasing minnows out in that shallow water that's, oh, say 2 feet deep. And there were some grass beds in through there, and they were chasing them around that. By using that Shenandoah Blue Popper, he was able to go back in that water that was relatively shallow. Now, he wasn't using a sneaking action. He was actually imparting an action to it to try to attract those bass back in around those grass beds around that shallow cobblestone bottom. So those are the 3 actions we get in the Shenandoah series. The pointed nose is a slider. We do that sneaky stuff. The cup face thing is the chugger. We do a lot of racket, deeper water, faster water. And then the Shenandoah Blue Popper with its gently sloping face, it does a wonderful job for us in a lot of places that we couldn't get that much results with the other 2. So if you have any questions on any of this, we teach all of this in our smallmouth schools, and it really is a lot of fun fishing. Call me if you have any questions. Harry Murray at Murray's Fly Shop in Edinburgh, Virginia.